President, Citizens Quest for Truth Initiative. Christie Ndukwe joins me from Port Harcourt. She joins me virtually. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Just to use the words of our correspondent there, Uche Okoro, where he said democratic governance in terms of all arms of government have been restored in Rivers State. I wanted to ask you what you make of all of the arms now working, whether it's executive and legislature, and then the governor's speech. He seemed to be taking, using the language of peace and reconciliation.
Yeah, well, this is, it was actually long overdue. We had expected this long before. Now, personally, I always knew that the solution, the way out, would be a political solution, and then not all the back and forth that so many persons got involved in, and then, there were wrong decisions and wrong advice coming, from different angles. So, but fortunately, with what we have today, there's peace and all the arms of government are working, and democracy is fully, democratic governance is fully restored in Rivers. And then, of course, like you said, the speech of the governor, I think that's one of the best I've heard in recent times. The tone, the demeanor, and everything, shows that, yeah, the lessons have been learned, and then mistakes were made, and then, of course, corrections have been taken and all that. And then he's also fully prepared, both psychologically, spiritually, and otherwise. And even looking at him, he's looking so refreshed. So you can see that he's prepared for the job. And then, of course, the State Assembly, they also sat and yesterday and also, conducted the business of the House with vigor, the way we expected. So I think that this is what every Rivers person, every person who loves the state, had craved for. And so we are grateful to God and grateful to the authorities and everyone who made this today
and just because you said everyone who made today a reality, I wanted to come in with the idea, because when the president, declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, he was heavily criticized, especially in political quarters. But looking back now with the current peace and, that Rivers State is now enjoying, would you say that the end has justified the means?
Yeah, of course. Most times I don't like to use that, but I think in the secular world that is fine. We can see that actually the president knew where he was going to, and then today people, even those who were against him, can see that the president actually did. Yeah, people are complaining that the state had lost a lot, and then there were a lot of job losses, contracts, and the rest of them. But you can see that, in spite of that, peace was number one. We needed to, bridge the crisis and, put a stop to where they were drifting to. There's no way you can run a government with three-man assembly or run a government without a budget and all that. So it would have probably by now, it would have been a full-blown crisis. But the president was able to nip it in the bud. It doesn't matter. Critics have the right. People have the right to disagree and also condemn his actions. But I think that now they have seen the beauty of it. Well, don't forget that it's not everybody who is still convinced that even the peace that the governor is talking about is genuine. Some persons also think that maybe it's something that, the price was very high. But the governor himself, I think that he's able to compare both sides, what it was then and now. And it's better off, working together with everybody, to put the state where it's supposed to be. 6 months, yeah, the state lost some, developmental projects, which by now probably they would have completed and all that. But I think that there's still enough time for him to hit the ground running and get the state, working. So I think that those who disagree with the president,
if I may quickly comment, because of time,
even if they don't agree now, they will still agree.
You mentioned that a lot of lessons have been learned, and then you also mentioned that some people are, sort of concerned about the way the peace was achieved and if it will last. What lessons do you think that all sides should learn here if Rivers State is going to enjoy lasting peace?
Well, it's unfortunate that even in our climate, the way politics is played, whether you like it or not, there will definitely be godfatherism. There will also be people who sponsor people to elective positions, because elections are very costly in this climate. Only to get the forms, the party forms and all the party primaries, what that means. So whether you like it or not, we're still going to have, some form of godfatherism, which also puts pressure on those who are elected, for a while. But anyway, like you asked, the lessons that I've learned, even on the side of, apart from the side of the governor, who probably now knows that it was needless for him to have had these issues with the state assembly. There's no way governance can take place without the state assembly, because it amounts to going against the constitution and all that. Then on the other side, for even the sponsors and then the godfathers, particularly the Minister of FCT, I'm sure he also has seen that it was going to be a very costly mistake letting go the governor who he's fought to, enthrone, and then allowing people who never supported him to, feast on the man. So I think that lessons have learned. So going forward, they may need to narrow some of these challenges and then move forward. Yeah.
Well, we're watching Rivers State carefully. We will see how things play out. Thank you so much for your time. President Quest for Truth Initiative, Christie Ndukwe, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.